All right, guys. In our last session, Celestia answered Vladislav's pointed question, skillfully deflecting the full truth, even under the scrutiny of the modified zone of truth, admitting that she wasn't nobility and that she and Saxy weren't married, but their love was genuine. As the stakes of the game rose, Saxy tactically navigated the conversation, revealing the scale of the plan to overthrow Emperor Octavius, emphasizing the need for spies, armies, and alliances. Each of Reginald's allies, Cassia, Vladislav, Tobin, Diego, and Lord Ashford, revealed that they had already laid much of this groundwork. Saxy then dropped information regarding the Obitus, a far greater threat than Reginald's crew had anticipated. He explained that they were responsible for the fall of White Willow, and that their unchecked power is a threat to not only the Empire, but the entire world. Raarh, in his unique direct way, asked why Tronald, or rather Lord Tanavir, was so vital to their plan. This led to an intense explanation. They needed Lord Tanavir to expose the lies of Octavius, give the people hope, and ultimately crown the emperor who should have ruled, Tanavir. Reginald confirmed that Tanavir was essential to finish what he and Emperor Valerius started, liberating the empire from Arcantarian control and restoring it to its true potential. So, what would you like to do?
So, they want me to rise up and become the new emperor? I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, I'm still figuring myself out right now.
You'll be fine, Tronald. Hell, by the sounds of it, you were Emperor Valerius's choice. His fallback plan if things ever went sideways with him. Think about that for a second. Valerius himself wanted you to take charge if he fell. That's not some small thing, that's legacy. If you were trusted to lead by someone like him, there's really no reason for you to doubt yourself.
Yeah, but Valerius, he wasn't just some emperor to me. He was like my closest friend from what I can remember. And that's the thing, isn't it? I can barely remember any of it. I don't even know if I deserve to be in the position he trusted me with. What if his faith in me was misplaced?
Nah, there's no way Valerius's faith was misplaced. Don't forget, I know you, Tronald. Maybe you've got a few blanks in your memory, but I've seen you in action. That trust, it was earned. You deserved it. And besides, you're not in this alone. You've got us. We'll back you up no matter what. Damn, maybe I could be, I don't know, your commander or a general, or something cool like that. Ooh, wait, maybe I could be your royal advisor.
Yeah, and let's be real, it's not like this is going to happen overnight, right? This whole overthrowing campaign, it's a long game. We've got plenty of time to figure things out, and it's not even our main focus right now. Our first priority is still the Obitus. Like we said before, until we deal with them, there won't be an empire to rule. That's where our heads need to be.
Exactly. It's good to know we have powerful allies now, sure. People inside the empire who can help when the time comes. But for now, our main priority is stopping the Obitus. We need to figure out where each of those Eterians are located and how Vizuriel plans to use them. And that means getting to Asmo Prime. He's got the knowledge we need to move forward.
Whoa, wait a second. Asmo Prime said he's been hunted by the Empire, right? Constantly on the run because of his connection to me. If the Empire catches him, they'll want to interrogate him, or worse. But with our new friends, our new allies, he could have somewhere safe to go, right? Somewhere he can't be touched. Amlarun, the island off the west coast, the island which is currently amassing a force to take down the Empire.
Yeah, that would be some good news for him for sure. Imagine what that means, being able to stop running for once. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. A safe haven's worth more than gold when you've been hunted as long as he has.
I mean, sure, it's a good thought, but let's not dive headfirst into thinking this is all perfectly lined up. We've only just met these people. It could still be a trap. So, yeah, I'm not ready to trust everything just yet.
Not possible, Celestia. Not with the kind of conviction they showed when they laid it all out. Even if I wasn't convinced, if I thought for a second it was all some elaborate scheme, the zone of truth was active the whole time. No lies, no manipulation. What we heard, that's what they want. It's real. And honestly, I'm goddamn grateful it is. We needed this. We were drowning, and now we've got a lifeline. We've got a real shot at getting things done. We're talking resources, networks, everything we've been struggling to get our hands on. We have access to them. We can dip into those things. Use them. This is what we've been waiting for. It's still not going to be easy, but now we've actually got a real chance. We're no longer just surviving. We're playing the game.
All right then. Well, let's just deal with one thing at a time. I turn towards Reginald. Where do you guys plan to stop for tonight? Do we have a place to rest up before we head out?
When we're done here, we'll be heading back to the airship. We have quarters prepared for the night. You'd be more than welcome to join us now. I'm confident we can keep your true identities hidden between the 6 of us. Yes, that includes Cassia as well. It goes without saying, though, that the freedoms we've had to discuss things here, they won't follow us aboard the ship. There may be areas where we can speak without prying ears, but for the most part, you'll need to maintain the front you've practiced so well with us tonight.
Reginald turns his gaze to you, Saxy.
Do you think you can manage that, Lord Garan?
Yes, I believe we should be absolutely fine. We've played the part well enough here, and we can do it again. No reason we can't keep up appearances. How long will the trip take? Around a week, maybe, depending on the wind currents, altitude, and any magical interference along the route. Yeah, we can lay low, or be as boisterous as we need to be for that long. And a week on an airship, that's far from the worst situation we've had to blend into.
I like your optimism, Saxy. Truly I do. Although, there could be a slight hiccup in this well-laid plan. You see, while Lord Garand, your uncle, does indeed have multiple nephews, one of which matches your appearance quite convincingly, Saxy, he also has 2 sons. Sons who, well, how can I put this delicately? They are very eager to mingle within noble society. It wouldn't surprise me in the slightest if one, or even both, were here in the city by morning, attempting to board the very same airship as us. After all, being recalled back to Solaris usually means quite the event. Grand festivities, the finest food, the most exquisite wine, and women. I find it hard to believe they would willingly miss out on such a celebration. So my friend, should these sons of Lord Garand decide to join us, well, let's just say you'll have some complications regarding your appointed title.
Yeah, that would be a sticky situation, no doubt. Well, we can just hope they don't show up, and if they do, we'll just have to stay clear of them as much as possible. Keep things casual, act the part, and make sure there's no reason for them to get too close.
I'd prefer not to have to deal with any sticky situations, as you put it. I'm also not a fan of hypotheticals. I prefer to deal in absolutes. And what I do know, as an absolute, is that Lord Garand's youngest son, Valan Garand, will be arriving in about 2 hours, give or take, depending on the traveling speed from Verdale Keep.
What about the second son? If Valen's coming, what's stopping the other?
Alistair Garand. Currently coughing his guts up. Caught some kind of bug, poor lad. He's devastated he won't be able to join his brother. Anyway, he'll most likely take up residence at Silvercrest Manor inside Waterdeep. Prime real estate, with a vested interest from the Garand family right at the heart of the city.
How the heck are you aware of his movements?
You ask how I know this? Well, as I said before, hands in many pies, my friends. I make it my business to know these things. I don't think it would be unreasonable to send a few messengers out now to meet him on the road.
Huh? What message would you send? Asking him not to come for some reason?
I was thinking more along the lines of a dagger to the heart. Clean. Simple. Leaves no room for complications.
Absolutely not. We're not just going around killing people because they might potentially cause a problem.
You jumped in pretty quick when it came to them elves, though.
I didn't have a choice when it came to those wood elves because they were being absolute dicks and could have caused a little girl to die. That was different. But we're not crossing that line here, not without a damn good reason.
I can assure you, Lord Garand's hands are not clean. He's done more than enough to warrant being removed from the board. But his sons, unfortunately, they're still fresh from the nest. They haven't yet committed anything worthy of death. Now, it's true that their family would have no love for a Tanavirian rule. They'd work against us in time, no doubt. But does that warrant death? That's a question only Lord Tanavir can answer. And whatever his decision, I believe we're all prepared to follow it.
I agree with you, Celestia. I can't justify killing someone just because they might cause a problem down the line. That's a slippery slope I'm not ready to go down. We don't even know what kind of men they'll turn out to be yet. Ending their lives now, when they haven't done anything to warrant it? No, That doesn't sit right with me.
Is that your morals speaking, though, or your brain? You making this decision with your head or your heart?
Probably my morals, Raarh, and if it bites us in the ass later, then we'll deal with it when the time comes. But for now, I just can't justify taking an innocent life. We have to be better than those we're fighting against.
Nice one, brother. I respect that.
Very well. Your decision reflects the kind of leader you are, the leader you will become. We'll adjust our plans accordingly.
Thank you. I know it's a risk, but it's one I'm willing to take.
Your choice, Lord Tanavir, sets the tone for what's to come. We'll honor it. Now, let's focus on ensuring our plans move forward smoothly.
That's a foolish decision, Might. You know it. I know it. We know it. They're putting themselves at risk with this noble nonsense, and worse, they're putting us at risk. Compassion? Morals? They're just pretty words, masking weakness. And weakness, might. Well, you and I both know what happens to the weak, don't we? This is a mistake.
Tronald, I've been thinking maybe this isn't the best move. I get it, you don't want to take an innocent life, but is one person's life really worth screwing up the whole mission? If Vaylin Garan sees Saxi and recognizes him as not his cousin, it's over. No amount of charm or fast talking will cover that up. You know what happens then, right? He raises an eyebrow, makes a few comments, starts whispering to the wrong people, and suddenly the whole disguise unravels. Next thing you know, we're all under scrutiny. And you get found out as Lord Tanavir. You think they'll just let that slide? No, Tronald, then it's all over. The airships, the rebellion, your path to the throne, stopping the Obetus, Raarh, finding his family, and everything every one of us wants to do, gone in an instant because we would stick by you and we would lose.
Yeah, actually, Might's got a point here. It's just some scumbag noble, right? Probably gets his thrills off abusing his power anyway. And let's be real. No offense, you guys. I gesture towards Reginald and the others. But a lot of nobles I've met, well, most of them are due their comeuppance. So what if this Vaylin causes a mess? Gets everyone looking at us sideways? We're risking everything for some guy who wouldn't think twice about stepping over us if he had the chance. I'm just saying, maybe it's not worth the risk. If it were me, sure, we could risk it. But it's not. It's you we're putting at risk. And that comes with its own responsibility.
Hold
now.
on a damn second. Why are we trying to convince Tronald that getting this guy assassinated is the answer now?
I'm not saying it's the answer, just a pretty good one, you know, taking all things into consideration. Like Tobin said, it's clean, it's quick, and it solves the problem before it even becomes a problem. Sometimes you gotta cut the rope before it drags you over the edge, Saxi, my man.
Oh, great. So this is what we're becoming, huh? Yeah, sure, we'll achieve our goal, maybe even win, but on a mountain of corpses. That's the plan? Is that what we stand for now?
This is what we all signed up for. In this world, there is no peace without blood, no empire without sacrifice.
Every throne is built on corpses, every crown soaked in blood. That's just the way things work. How they're going to work from now on. And if you don't like it, then you're playing the wrong game.
The moment Might's words hit the air, the room shifts like a beast waking from a long slumber. Not tension exactly, more like recognition. Reginald leans back, one hand tapping the head of his cane, eyes narrowing in thought. A nod follows, almost imperceptible, but it's there. Approval, maybe even respect, flashing behind those watchful eyes. Vladislav's smile creeps across his face like a crack in the earth, the kind that says more than words ever could. His eyes linger on Mighty, not with surprise, no. More like understanding. Impressed? Sure. But there's something deeper. A glint of familiarity in the cold clarity of the words. Like he's seeing something of himself reflected back. Then there's Tobin. He chuckles, low and soft, swirling his drink with casual ease. He leans in, eyes bright with mischief, giving Might a nod. No words needed, just a small gesture that says, "You're in." Acceptance, maybe? A kindred spirit, perhaps. For a brief moment, the balance of power shifts at the table. The room tips ever so slightly in your favor, Might. It's then Reginald bangs his cane on the floor. Not hard, but enough to get everyone's attention.
Enough. This is no time for deliberation. You've heard everyone's opinion, but the final decision rests with you, Lord Tanavir. Do we let this risk live, hoping it doesn't unravel everything we've worked for? Or do we cut it loose, eliminating any threat to our plans before it can bloom?
All right, Joe. I'm going to cast augury as a ritual. Let's see if the universe has anything to say about this decision, whether or not assassinating this guy is going to bring good or bad results. I stack 3 platinum coins atop each other. I close my eyes, muttering the words of the spell under my breath. My hands hover over the stack, drawing on the magic that flows through me. With a flick of my wrist, I knock the coins over, sending them scattering. I focus on the question, letting it take shape in my mind. Would deciding not to assassinate this guy bring good or bad results? The coins clatter onto the table, spinning and rattling, and I wait for the universe to give me a sign.
The coins spin across the table, clinking together like tiny metallic dice rolling the odds of fate. For a moment, nothing happens, just the faint clatter of platinum, the coins still spinning in place as if the universe itself is hesitating, weighing the balance. Then it hits you, Tronald, not like a whisper or a voice, but like a pull, deep in your gut, the feeling twisting through your mind. It's not clear-cut, not clean. It's messy, conflicted, the future clawing its way in, presenting you with visions, emotions, possibilities. There's a flash of brightness, something promising, fleeting, a sense of victory, of something gained. But just as quickly, it's swallowed by shadows. Darkness creeping in like a storm on the horizon. You feel success, but it comes hand in hand with danger, with loss. It's like standing on a precipice, one foot dangling over the edge, the other grounded in safety. Both good and bad, weal and woe. The answer surges through you, washing over your thoughts like cold water. The coins fall still, their motion ceasing as quickly as it began. You're left with the unmistakable understanding this choice carries weight, one that promises both reward and risk, success and peril. Nothing comes without a cost.
No, we're not doing it. Sure, making that decision could bring us good fortune. There's no doubt about that. But it could just as easily bring disaster, chaos, things we won't be able to undo. And aside from that, I've been that noble before. I've been the guy someone wanted dead. I've been the target, the one people thought should die. I've been the father whose son was taken from him. The man who watched everything he cared about get ripped away because someone thought they could play gods with lives. No, I won't be that person. Whatever happens, we'll deal with it. But we're not taking the easy way out by ending someone's life. That's not the path we're walking.
Well, Lord Tanavir has spoken. We avoid it. No more talk of assassination then. We'll face whatever comes, head on. All right then. If we're all ready, shall we make our way to the airship for a good night's rest ahead of the journey tomorrow?
Yeah, it's been a long day, and I've got a feeling our days are only going to get longer. More difficult.
His eyes flick to Cassia and Diego, his voice dropping slightly, more pointed.
Cassia, Diego, I want you to keep a lookout for Valen Garand when he arrives. Keep him occupied, keep him busy. We don't want him anywhere near our friends. I trust you two can handle that?
Consider it done. He won't get anywhere near them.
Leave it to us, Reginald. We'll keep him entertained, one way or another.
He leans back, tapping his cane lightly on the floor, ready to move.
Let's get this done.
Okay, so we follow Reginald and the crew's lead to the airship.
You all rise from the table and move toward the stairs. Reginald leads the way and you follow, but just as you begin to ascend, something catches your eye. You turn back toward Vladislav. His wheelchair doesn't bump or jostle on the steps. No, it glides, smooth and silent, almost as if it's floating. The wheels barely graze the stone. The night air hits you as you step outside, cool and crisp. The streets are quieter now, save for the rhythmic clatter of the occasional bypasser's boots against cobblestone. Cassia and Diego hang back a bit, already slipping into their roles, eyes sharp for any sign of Valen Garand. As you make your way toward the sky docks, the guards lining the entrance don't even blink in your direction. They don't ask questions, no suspicious glances or idle chatter. They know who Reginald and the other four are. The fact that you're walking alongside them speaks volumes. It's as if being with them gives you an untouchable status, a kind of unspoken authority that melts the guards' curiosity into silence. The airships loom ahead, towering like sleeping giants, their vast hulls gleaming under the lantern light. Reginald steps forward to handle the payment, pulling out a pouch of gold. He hands over the coins, enough for 10 passengers, easily 700 gold pieces. The clerk doesn't even blink, just nods, slipping the coins away as though they weighed nothing. You board the airship, stepping up the narrow gangplank. The wood creaks beneath your feet, but it's sturdy, holding you as you step onto the deck. The ship itself feels almost alive. The rigging hums, the sails ripple with unseen energy, and the faint thrum of arcane magic hums beneath your boots. Everything is polished to a shine. The lacquered rails, the intricate carvings along the beams, the cabin doors are lined with brass, and you can already tell this ship wasn't built for common folk. Nobility flows through every grain of wood, every inch of fabric. The airship smells of rich oils and fine leather. Above, the massive balloon hovers silently, tethered to the ship with thick ropes, pulsing gently as the magic inside keeps it aloft. The crew moves about in rhythm, their movements smooth and efficient, clearly used to catering to people of status. Reginald leads you all into the grand cabin. Plush seats and velvet curtains line the walls, a small table set with crystal glasses and decanters of wine. It's a floating palace, built for comfort as much as speed. The hum of the ship's engines is barely noticeable, just a soft vibration underfoot, enough to remind you of the power that keeps this magnificent vessel in the air.
So, do we each get our own rooms here, or what? What's the arrangement on this ship?
Indeed. This airship has no shortage of luxury. Here.
He hands over a set of 5 keys, each one finely crafted with brass numbers engraved on them.
You and your companions will be in rooms 112 through 116. Each is well furnished and should provide you all with the privacy and comfort expected.
I take the keys off Reginald and give him a nod.
Get some rest and we'll reconvene in the morning, Lord Garand. I trust the journey will give you plenty of time to adjust.
With that, Reginald turns and walks away, his footsteps light against the polished deck. Lord Ashford Blackthorn follows suit, disappearing into the cabin with a flourish of his hand. Tobin pauses for a moment, giving you a nod, before he too vanishes into the depths of the ship. Vladislav glides effortlessly, his floating chair moving silently as he follows the others, his cold eyes lingering on you all just a moment longer than the rest. But it's Cassia and Diego who linger by the entrance. Cassia leaning against the doorway, her violet eyes scanning the deck. Diego is next to her, his charming smile still in place, though his gaze is more focused now, sharp. They're clearly waiting for Velen Garin to arrive, to figure out exactly which room he'll occupy, and to keep an eye on him.
What a day. Honestly, I didn't expect it to turn out like that.
You're telling me.
Joe, how busy is this area now?
It's quiet, late enough that the usual bustle has died down, but not entirely. A few guards patrol the deck, their armor catching the moonlight as they walk their rounds. You spot the odd admin here and there, checking logs and ensuring things are in order. But it's the crew that moves the most, tending to things, inspecting the hull, keeping an eye on security. You get the sense that while the night is calm, eyes and ears are always aware, always listening. You glance around and notice one other figure on deck, standing alone near the edge of the ship. A noble by the looks of him, but not the polished kind you'd expect. His skin is blotchy, his face flushed in patches of red as if from too much drink, or something else. There's a solemnity to him, a heaviness like a man carrying far more than just his wealth. He's smoking a cigar, the smoke trailing up lazily into the night air as he peers over the edge, his eyes distant, almost vacant. The suit he wears is fine enough, but ill-fitting, hanging off his frame in a way that suggests it was either hastily tailored or that the man's grown weary of it all. He takes a slow drag from the cigar, the orange glow illuminating his face for a brief moment before he exhales, the smoke swirling into the night, disappearing into the same void his gaze seems lost in.
Okay. Well, that's none of our concern. But anyway, we can save the conversing for tomorrow and somewhere more secluded. Let's head to our rooms.
You guys go on ahead. I'm going to see if I can teef a cigar off that noble over there. Looks like he's got a decent stash, and honestly, it's been forever since I've had a smoke. Could use something to take the edge off, you know?
What, you smoke? Since when?
I don't make a habit of it or anything, but yeah, I dabble, once in a while. When the mood's right, this looks like one of those right mood moments. And hey, nobles would probably have the good stuff. Anyone want to join me for a quick puff? Could be fun.
No thanks, I'm going to get some rest. Like Tronald said, it's been a tense day. We've earned the right to just switch off for a bit. You enjoy your cigar, though.
Fuck the cigar. I'm hoping this place has a bathtub. Ooh, and rubber duckies. Can't have a bath without rubber duckies.
What the fuck?
Yeah, seriously, bath's no good without them. Adds to the ambiance, you know?
All right, well, here's your key, mate. Room 115. Don't stay up too late swiping cigars from rich guys. I guess we'll see you in the morning, buddy.
Ha. Cheers, man. Don't wait up for me. I'll be back once I've had my fill of fine tobacco and questionable conversations.
All right then, you lot. You step through the grand doors leading into the heart of the airship, and it's like crossing a threshold into another world. The air itself changes, warmer, fuller, almost perfect. The space opens up before you, unreasonably large for a ship. The ceiling stretches impossibly high, vaulting overhead with dark wooden beams and chandeliers that glimmer softly, casting golden light across the polished floors. It feels wrong, almost unsettling, as if the ship has bent the very laws of physics to accommodate its grandeur. It's a corridor fit for kings, not passengers. The hallway stretches out in front of you, doors passing by quicker than they should, as though time itself was somehow speeding up. Room 1, Room 23, Room 65, Room 100. The numbers blur, but the details don't. Each door carved intricately, each handle gleaming as if freshly polished, each room seeming to pulse with its own quiet importance. And then, just like that, you've arrived at your own, room 112 to 116. As you all split off into your separate rooms, the first thing you notice is the sheer scale. It's like stepping into a private house. No, more than that, it's like stepping into a palace suite. The ceilings are high, the furniture rich, the bed big enough for 4 people to sleep without ever brushing elbows. Grand curtains drape across wide windows, framing a view of the sky outside, and there's a heavy, satisfying quiet in the air, broken only by the faint hum of the ship's engines. A small silver bell sits on the bedside cabinet, presumably for room service, though by the looks of things you might never need to ask for anything. It seems like every luxury has already been considered. And yes, Raarh, there is a bathtub. Not just any old tub, but a glorious, sprawling corner bath that dominates a quarter of the wet room. The tub is practically a small pool carved from marble, its edges glistening with the sheen of luxury. Steam is already rising from the water, as if the bath had anticipated your arrival. It's all so lavish, so impossibly grand, you could almost forget that soon you will be floating thousands of feet above the ground in a ship where space should be at a premium. But here space seems infinite.
I smashed the bell, Joe.
All right, so you slam the bell down hard enough, it might have cracked. It rings out, echoing in the lavish room. Then you wait.
Do I have my rubber duckies yet?
What? No, you haven't even placed your order yet. You think they just materialize?
Well, I say into the bell that I want rubber duckies, a nice leg of lamb with a side of chicken, throw in some pork scratchings while you're at it too.
You gotta wait for someone to come and take your order, buddy. That's how it works.
But I thought this shit was supposed to be magical, like things just appear, no waiting.
It is magical, just not that magical. It's an airship, not a genie's lamp.
Fuck this place!
And just as you shout that, you hear a soft knock on the door. Someone's arrived. The door creaks open, and a tall, thin man in a pristine white uniform steps in, his face as blank as the silver tray he's carrying. Good evening, sir. I trust you rang the bell?
Yeah, I did. What do you want?
I'm here to take your order, sir.
Oh, okay. I want rubber duckies, a nice leg of lamb with a fuck ton of chicken. Also, gimme some pork scratchos.
As you wish. That will be... He pauses, calculating quickly. 10 gold pieces for the requested items.
What? I have to pay for this?
Of course you do. It's not all inclusive, dude.
5 gold for some duckies and meat. Damn place better be worth it. I throw the coins into the attendant's hand. Here you go. Now get on with it.
The attendant, still unflinching, pockets the gold and bows slightly again. Your order will be delivered shortly, sir. Please enjoy your stay. And with that, he slips out of the room as silently as he came. You wait. 5 minutes pass, maybe a little more, and then you hear the same soft knock. The man returns, this time with a tray laden with everything you asked for. A glorious leg of lamb, a side of roast chicken, pork scratchings, and nestled on the corner of the tray, 2 bright yellow rubber duckies.
Now that's what I'm talking about. I grab the lot and begin my revelry. Ha! Lamb in one hand, ducky in the other.
You indulge like a king, Raarh, like a king. That was a fun session, guys. I'll see you all next week, yeah?
Sweet.
See you later, Joester.
Man, this bath time is going to be fun. I should have asked for more rubber duckies, though. This bath is far too big for just these lone 2 to accompany me. To be honest, though, I really think...
Huh? Why are you still here, buddy? You got nowhere to be?
Well, I was hoping that we could carry on a little bit. Play this scenario out with the noble without wasting the other's time.
Sure, man, I can spare some time. Plus, it makes sense because them lot aren't actually here, but sleeping. Let's do it.
Right. Well, I'm not actually going to talk to the noble. What I am going to do is unboard the airship and head back down into the Bay Area.
Okay, so you turn away from the deck, leaving the noble to his solitary smoke. The hum of the airship fades behind you as you make your way back down the ornate gangplank. As you reach the bottom, the clerk at the docking station glances up from his ledger. His eyes are sharp, despite the late hour, and he gives you a curt nod. Without a word, he hands you a small token, a hollow, intricately patterned piece of metal with a ship symbol cut cleanly through its center. It feels cool and surprisingly heavy in your palm. "This will grant you re-entry to the ship, sir," he says in a flat tone. "Just present it upon your return and you'll have no issues." The streets are less crowded now, but far from empty. Sailors, merchants, and night dwellers. You notice a group of dock workers sharing a laugh over mugs of ale, their faces worn but spirited, and a cloaked figure slips into a side street, disappearing as quickly as they appeared. All right, you're outside and back in the streets of Waterdeep. The city sprawls before you, alive with possibilities. What would you like to do?
All right, I'm not interested in figures skulking in the shadows or drunken sailors. I make my way to a secluded spot, somewhere no one's looking. Maybe a quiet alley or behind a few crates. When I'm sure no one's around, I cast invisibility on myself. Then in the shadows and silence, I talk to the symbiote in my head. All right, I'm going to do it. You were right. Tronald, I can see it in his face, the doubt, the hesitation. He wants to do it, I know he does. But he's too weak to make that choice. He's too caught up in his own head. And doing the right thing, whatever that means, and it's going to get him killed. I can't let that happen. I won't. So I'll do it. I'll deal with this. I said I wanted to be stronger, right? To protect them. Well, this is where it starts, not with words, with action. I'll be the strength Tronald can't be. I'll protect him and the others, even if it means getting my hands dirty.
Yes. Might, finally, you see. Power isn't found in hesitation. It's not in those feeble decisions made by weak hearts. Power, true power, comes from doing. From taking the steps others fear. From becoming the blade in the dark. You've stepped into the shadows, Might. You've realized that sometimes to protect, you must destroy. The weak cling to hope. You embrace what they can't. I knew you had it in you. Now you understand. Now you've become what you need to be. Let the others worry about their consciences. You'll be the one making sure there's something left to protect. I applaud you, Might. You're finally learning.
So, yeah, that's what I'm doing, Joe. I'm ready. I move through the streets invisible, heading towards the south entrance of Waterdeep. No hesitation, no looking back. I let the symbiote take partial control, morphing my body with its power, just enough to sharpen my senses, strengthen my limbs. My form shifts, but I remain hidden, still invisible. I can feel its presence urging me forward. So I charge towards the walls, my body light, quick and still cloaked. I scale them. No issue, no pause. Once I'm over the wall, I dash through the surrounding plains and woodland. 20 minutes or so, keeping to the main path, sticking to shadows when I need to. Then I wait. I wait for Valen Garan to come past on his carriage. I know he's coming, and I'll be ready when he does.
Okay, buddy. Well, we will wrap that one up there because this could be fascinating and I don't want to rush it. Please arrive a good hour before everyone else next week, Might. Unless you want them seeing this and potentially meting, it will be for the best.
Yeah, no worries.
All right. Well, I guess I'll see you next week, guys. Have a good one.